Okay, so by now you've finished the first part of the presentation, and now we're moving on to stereotypes. The first one being the association of Irish people with leprechauns. And that's pretty self-explanatory. I feel like when I was little, I don't know about you guys, when I watched a kid's movie, with Ireland being one of the settings, there was usually some take on there being leprechauns or a lot of shamrocks in that movie, like the Luck of the Irish. The next one, the next two kind of go hand in hand. All the Irish eat are haggis and potatoes. Haggis is, in my opinion, a not so nice dish. It is cooked sheep stomach, and the other one being potatoes. These two things I feel like were a popular item because you had sheep because you needed wool for clothing, and so once the sheep had served its purpose, you ate it. And then the next being the potatoes. Potatoes, like Tyler said before, were very easy to cultivate, so they did grow a lot of potatoes and they ate a lot of potatoes. The next stereotype is they only wear green, or the association of Irish with the color green. And I feel like that's been made obvious for holidays like St. Patrick's Day. And also when you see a leprechaun, he's dressed all in green. So that was one stereotype that we found. The next one that we found, and Tyler touched on this a little bit, is that the Irish Americans lack the intelligence to do any form of higher thinking work. The next set that we've got is Irish people wear kilts, and again, pretty self-explanatory. Some of the movies that I saw when I was little had Irish and Scottish people wearing kilts. The next one, again, self-explanatory. All Irish people are redheads. Carrot Tops, Ginger, we used some of those names when I was in high school, and thinking back on it now, it's actually pretty mean to say that, but there is that association of Irish with redheads. The next one, Irish people are heavy drinkers and drunks, and also Irish Americans are fighters. I feel like these go a little bit hand in hand, and I could be using a stereotype here as well. When you have young men drinking and getting drunk, I feel like there are more fights than normal, but and I feel like the people back then thought the same thing, because not only were Irish people thought of as heavy drinkers and drunks, they were also considered fighters and causing a lot of trouble. Okay, the next one, Irish Americans have certain names and accents. I don't know about you guys, but when I hear Irish, an Irish person is coming, I have an accent that I think of when I hear that, and there are some names that I associate. One in particular is Paddy, P-A-D-D-Y. The next one here is, and I spoke on this one a little bit before, the association of Irish people with shamrocks and the color green. Shamrocks are green, so again you have that green color. And shamrocks are considered lucky, so the luck of the Irish comes in again. Now, how to overcome these issues? Well, Irish resiliency has shown strong in American history by making a lot of contributions to American culture. As Tyler touched on before, there was a lot of pushback on Irish coming to America because they were Catholic. But I feel like that the Irish helped bring the Catholic Church back into America, that it slowly influenced us that, oh, well, it's not so bad, especially with the separation of state and church. They also helped build the Union Pacific Railroad and the Brooklyn Bridge. Irish Americans became increasingly involved in American politics and would be nicknamed the Green Machine. And basically, this Green Machine is not what you think. It is not an eco-friendly group. It is a group of politicians that actually advocated for Irish Americans to get rid of some of those stereotypes, which in a way is odd to me, because there you have that association of the color green with Irish Americans. The next one here is, it kind of debunks one of the stereotypes we spoke on earlier, about how Irish Americans could not achieve a higher thinking job. Well, the median income for households headed by an Irish American is now $56,000. Well, the last time I checked, you needed more than basic skills to achieve a $56,000 yearly salary, so I feel like that debunks that stereotype, and hopefully more people will pay attention to the facts now. Moving on, the Irish American identity. As we said before, most Irish Americans were Catholic, and it is the single most important ingredient of the Irish American identity. The Irish brought with them an anti-individualistic and pre-capitalist communal worldview. And what we mean by this is that they are very tight-knit. They are very group-oriented, and this actually goes down to the last bullet point here, the boat. It goes back to that saying of fresh off the boat. A lot of Irish Americans understood what these new people coming off the boat were experiencing, so it was common for them to help others that were just getting here to America and helping them adjust to this new place. And like Tyler said before, there are groups of them located throughout the U.S., and they tend to stick together. Okay, the next one here is Irish Americans celebrated their heritage and fought for the independence of their ancestral homes. This actually caused a little bit of controversy because a lot of Americans said, well, you have divided loyalties, because a lot of Irish Americans hung on to their roots. They wanted to make sure that their homelands were taken care of, but at the same time they were here in America and they needed to adjust to American culture. And that goes on to our next bullet point of conforming to being American while hanging on to their roots. They did a very good job of becoming American, but to this day they really cling to their roots. They cling to where they come from, whether that's being Catholic, whether that's their dances or their music. Okay, the differences within this group. It was impossible, in my opinion, to find. Both Tyler and I looked for quite a while trying to find differences between these groups. Well, within this group, the differences between Irish and Irish American accents and storytelling are quite different. The Irish tend to really get into their storytelling and change pitches, and whereas Irish Americans don't necessarily do that. They keep the same tone, and just it's a flatter version of the story. Despite this fact, though, Irish Americans have been extremely dedicated to their roots and have stayed fairly homogeneous over the centuries. Now, I'm not saying that means they're all the same, because as we know, every person is different, but culture-wise, they have stuck together very well, and like I said before, they are a very communal group, and they do stick to their roots.